Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the Main Event Podcast. I'm Jez. That's Dan. We are here today discussing two events from the driest climates on Earth: WWE King and Queen of the Ring and AEW Double or Nothing. And we're also sampling for the first time a brand new goat energy drink flavour. We're both armed with our easy goats.
Easy.
And we'll probably get into that sooner rather than later so that we've got a drink for the show, because that's kind of an essential thing when you're talking for an hour. And especially as animated as I'll probably get when we get to the AEW section and some strong opinions that will be incoming. Anyway, how are you on this somewhat warm, balmy evening?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I've had this week off. I've been driving tractors and I'm going camping, so it's all good.
Basically, you're reverting back to your outdoor self, but more so than usual.
Yes.
Yeah. I had a conversation with it. I went a bit kind of West Country than myself then. Yeah, it's because I was about to bring up a combine harvester and said that your tractor license doesn't quite cover combine harvesters. So
not quite.
There's still some work to do before you can officially put that piece of straw in your mouth. I don't make the rules, Dan, but them's are the rules. You can't put the straw in your mouth until you're officially allowed to drive a combine harvester. So,
and then I can sing, "Oh, you got a brand new combine harvester." Yeah,
just because you could though doesn't mean you should. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Right. Okay. Great. Yes, two events. One from Saudi Arabia, one from Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Historically, we didn't do the Saudi Arabia events, but in this international WWE climate, it's kind of just become one of many. Even though their human rights violations still exist, and it's still a horrible, horrible place, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt and hope that they can put on a good show. Did they? Stay tuned to find out. We predicted each event, and we're going to go through King and Queen of the Ring first. But I will say, coming into today, the scores on the doors was me, 46, you, 42, for that World Prediction Championship on your shoulder right there.
Yes.
Yeah. Where are we? We're on the last day of May, which means we've got about a month left, I think, because SummerSlam is quite early in August, isn't it? It's like the 2nd, I think.
So it's 2 months.
Oh yeah, of course it is. June, July, yes, 2 months. Yeah. You panic then because you're like, oh no, I'm never going to get this in a month.
You know your calendar.
Yes, yeah, I'm not very good at the whole time and space thing.
No, you're not.
Yeah, no, I basically get up every day and do stuff, and I don't care what day it is or what month it is or even what year it is. Who knows? Who cares? Anyway, King and Queen of the Ring.
Shall we do our drinks first?
Let's do the drinks first, actually. Yes, yeah. So for long-time viewers of the show, you will know that we are sponsored by Goat Energy Drink. They have several flavours, including the original Horny Goat. I've still got the can from last week. That's how bad I am lying around. They also do the cherry-flavoured... there you go. Funky Goat. Wait, look how trampy we are. We just leave cans lying around our areas. And so
it's called organised.
They have released 2 new flavours, one of which we haven't tried and are not going to try at the moment, which is an original mango. We've gone straight for the Easy Goat because it has a particular uniqueness to it in that it's a caffeine-free version of their energy drink. And you have really been suffering for your craft up until this point because you are actually intolerant to caffeine and it doesn't make you a very happy boy. So right now is going to be wonderful for you because you can have the Goat energy drinks without imminent death. Which is lovely. This is a watermelon flavored drink. It says watermelon down there. It's sugar-free and, as we said, caffeine-free.
Caffeine-free.
Contains the same stuff as the others in terms of B vitamin, zinc, and coenzyme Q10. Yeah, let's crack in, shall we?
Yeah, let's.
And see if it's any good. Wouldn't it be disappointing to you if you finally got one you can drink and it tastes like arse?
Sniff test.
Mm-hmm. If you're going to do it properly, you've got to like waft it up to your nose.
Oh, it's definitely watermelon.
Okay, I'm going in.
All right, go in. Pinkies out and bottoms up.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
I rather like that.
that's delicious.
I don't tend to have much watermelon flavoured, so I didn't really know what kind of taste to expect. But it tastes like Jolly Ranchers.
Yes.
And not even just the watermelon Jolly Ranchers. Like, it's got that general Jolly Rancher taste, which is nice. I mean, other boiled sweets are available. Yeah, very nice too.
I like that.
Good.
Cheers.
Cheers indeed. There you go. That's a happy Dan. He's got an energy drink he can finally drink. And if you would like an energy drink that you can drink, you have to buy it, which you can do at godrinks.co.uk. But you can get 10% off and free shipping with the code Jez10 down there in the corner underneath Daniel San. Right. Put that there and try not to tip it over. And we'll move on to King and Queen of the Ring and generally make warm noises when we take sips of that throughout the show, I'm sure.
Yes. The
show opened on the countdown to King and Queen of the Ring. Much better than kickoff. I much prefer that. And I don't mind kickoff being the kind of press conference that they do beforehand. I think that's a great idea. Yeah. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defending the Women's Tag Team Championships against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. We'll hand the floor to you first. Your thoughts on this?
It was there.
Yes. Yeah, this was basically an excuse to get, Jade Cargill on.
Get Jade Cargill on the card.
Yeah, and it was a match that happened. We haven't said that in a while. We haven't had many things that are a match that happened.
No.
Came up a lot more when we were talking about all of the weekly shows and everything.
Yeah.
But this definitely falls under that match that happened category.
Yeah.
The only thing it reminds me is that Jade Cargill probably should have won Queen of the Ring, but they decided to put her in the tournament to eliminate her by nonsense methods with disqualifications.
Yeah.
Which I was not a fan of.
Stupid stuff.
Yeah. But, great to see them on the event.
Yeah.
Good to see more women on the event. I feel like that they should do all women's events in Saudi Arabia. I feel like that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
And just really stick it to them. Yeah, just fill the card with women and LGBTQ superstars to just stick it to Saudi and be like, catch up with the rest of the world, will you? Do us a favor. So we both went for Bianca and Jade for the win, which takes us to say something that we also haven't really said in a while, which is we're the ones.
We're the ones.
Which side of the bloodline are you on? The new or the old?
I'm on the old.
Yeah, me too.
I'm with Roman Reigns.
As much as I like the final boss.
Yeah.
I acknowledge my tribal chief, and that's Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Next up, kicking off the main show, is more women's action.
Yeah.
Suck on that, Saudi. Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship. Now, this had a bit more substance to it than the last match. Such as they were, the crowd were very behind Liv Morgan for whatever reason. And who knows what made them choose her over Becky Lynch, but there you go. There's still something, even after all this time, that's really clunky about Liv Morgan's wrestling style. And I really don't know how to explain what it is, but it just looks off. And I don't know why. She's been... Well, it must be nearly 10 years she's been in WWE now. She's basically been there her entire adult life, hasn't she?
Yeah.
She was there when the Four Horsewomen were in NXT, and that was what, 2016? Something like that?
Something like that.
So it's probably 8 years then than 10.
Yeah.
But either way, she's been wrestling for quite some time now. So
yeah,
it's time to really put these greenisms to bed, I think.
Yeah.
But glad that she's the champion. I think that's a good fit.
Yeah.
The other thing that I love is the courtship, or the attempted courtship, of Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah.
We all know that Liv Morgan's revenge tour includes taking everything away from Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
And while that should have just read, her championship,
Yeah.
it's also going to be, her pappy
Dom-Dom.
as well. Her Dom-Dom. Yeah.
Dom-Dom.
Yeah, it's funny that he's called Dom-Dom when he's a sub, but there you go.
I can't wait for Rhea to come back.
It's going to be ages, though. That's the problem. She's either Liv Morgan's going to have to hold this title for a long time, or it's just going to fizzle out.
You realise that Rhea is only out for 3 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They said 2 to 3 months. She's already been out about a month. So
They shouldn't have bothered stripping her of the title then. They should have just crowned an interim champion. It would have been much sweeter for Liv Morgan to have won an interim championship, and then they have to unify it at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead, they'll have to settle for a custody of Dominic Mysterio ladder match. Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
Throwback. I'm surprised that hasn't been
hilarious.
doing the rounds on the internet with the old graphic from 2005, Ray and Eddie. Custody of Dominic ladder match, Rhea and Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's coming because if nothing else, I will make it. So there you go.
Do it.
Let's get that out there. But yeah, overall, decent match. Quite happy with everything that went down. And Becky Lynch is taking a bit of a sabbatical now.
A hiatus.
She's getting a lot of trust from WWE as well. Her contract has expired, and apparently they're quite happy to just let her sit at home with no contract. I mean, it doesn't make much sense to me from a Becky Lynch point of view. It's like, don't you want to sit on your ass and get paid for it? Surely you should sign the contract.
She has got a book as well, so she is technically getting money coming in.
Yeah, I mean, she'll still get royalties and things, but it's not the big WWE contract money that she could have got by saying, I'll re-sign, but I'm not coming back until, December
next year.
Yeah. But that's how you stop me going to AEW. You pay me to sit on my ass at home.
Yeah.
Do you think she would pull the ultimate backstab and go to AEW?
No,
I don't see it either.
I think she's very much a WWE person.
I do as well, and I just think she knows how negatively that would reflect on Seth if she were to go and do that. That would basically be the end of his main event career.
Yeah,
because they wouldn't trust him either. So yeah. In this match, I predicted it incorrectly. I thought that Becky Lynch was going to walk out with it because I thought they were just going to prolong, this revenge tour and try and keep the belt off Liv a bit longer. But I was wrong. You got it right. So that leaves me worshipping our tribal chief, and you will move to 2.
Thank you.
That one's an old one. Can't do that one now. We need a new one.
Yeah.
Silly Chad Gable. Oh, speaking of silly Chad Gable, next up it's the triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship: Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, and for some reason Bronson Reed.
Why was Bronson Reed there?
I wondered that, and I wondered if it was because, he needed to do something. He could have not been in this match, and it would have been fine. It just would have been absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Any major thoughts about the match?
It was a triple threat match.
It certainly was a triple threat match. It was standard.
And I know how you feel about triple threat matches.
Oh, I love triple threat matches. I'm on record. Yeah.
You better go for it then.
Yeah, I mean, it was certainly standard triple threat turn takey fare. It was also standard big man match fare, so it was really a mix of those two, age old tropes. That said, there was a lot of all three in the ring action. Some bits that I liked. The great big Blue Thunder Bomb on Bronson Reed, that was nice. Bronson's suicide dive. This thing with Otis, accidentally costing Chad Gable, whether he meant to or not. It's basically the Bloodline storyline, but with Alpha Academy. And, I enjoyed that the first time, so let's do that again. Perhaps soon we'll be acknowledge our tribal caterpillar in Otis or something. But caterpillar. I don't know why Bronson Reed was there. Should have just been one-on-one. It would have had more impact then when Otis accidentally cost Chad the win. Yeah. Maybe it was because Bronson Reed was supposed to get, that big Saudi match previously, wasn't he? But he went home to witness the birth of his child or something. Yeah. So maybe it was like, oh no, Bronson needs his payday from the Saudi show, so let's chuck him in there. That's probably the reason, as lame as that is.
There you go, you just thought of it.
Yeah.
Sorted.
Predictably, we both went for Sami Zayn for the win, so that takes me to 2. No thank you. And takes you to 3.
I'll do that.
Team 3D.
Yeah.
Back to the women. More women.
Suck it, Saudi.
Lyra Valkyria versus Nia Jax in the tournament final of the Queen of the Ring. Winner gets a shot at their brand's champion at SummerSlam. So, first of all, let's discuss who was there, because this was the end of a tournament. Lyra Valkyria got through on the Raw side, and Nia Jax got through on the SmackDown side. Do you think this was the right choice for the tournament final?
No.
Who would you have had in there instead?
As mentioned earlier, we should have had Jade Cargill.
Yeah. I get why they didn't put Jade Cargill through, because obviously they don't want to Brock Lesnar her in terms of give her all the accolades within the first 10 minutes and then she'll piss off back to AEW again probably because I've done everything I can here. Was Nia Jax the right choice for this final? No, because it's Nia Jax. But from a story point of view, I can see it, I guess. They've pushed her as this dominant force on originally on Raw, but now she's the dominant force on SmackDown. And, who else is going to have that shot at SummerSlam? So I guess it might as well be Nia Jax. It sounds strange, and this isn't because I wanted Nia Jax to win. I would have been more upset if Lyra Valkyria had have won Queen of the Ring, because it's just too soon for her to be getting a massive accolade like that. So, the match itself, it was forgettable apart from the ending, really.
Yeah. Jax basically killed Valkyria.
Yeah. And Valkyria was walking again on Raw the next day, so I guess it was a planned, done okay thing. I actually quite liked that ending.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
It just came out of nowhere and just absolutely squashed her. So, it looked really good. The other thing I liked was Lyra Valkyria's attire.
Oh yeah,
that she wore. I felt like that suits her a lot better than what she normally wears. She was forced to wear a whole bodysuit, obviously, by virtue of being in Saudi Arabia. But I felt like it suited her character a lot more. Yeah. It really, really suited her from a wrestling attire point of view. I say keep the catsuit. Don't worry about,
whatever floats your boat.
Showing the flesh. You might get a bit warm, I get, but, keep the catsuit. It suits you. Yeah, more places to chuck feathers. You love them feathers. You can't staple feathers to your leg, can you? But you can stick them to a catsuit. Well, you can, but only once. And then you got to rip your skin out, and that's painful. Keep the catsuit, cover it in raven feathers. Job done. That's what I say. Yeah. We split on this. You went with Lyra Valkyria, I went with Nia Jax, so I gain that point back. Brings me up to 3 alongside yours. I've gone with V1, you've gone with Team 3.
The reason why I went for Valkyrie is because I don't like Nia Jax.
Yeah, see. Yeah, you've
Simple as.
You've got to look past your biases, Dan. You know?
I know.
And then from the women's tournament to the men's tournament, King of the Ring final. Gunther from Raw, Randy Orton from SmackDown. Same question. Right people in the final?
Yeah, I'd say right people we had here.
I'd say yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
I think once one had gone through, the other had to come and join them.
Mm-hmm.
But how compelling would a Jey Uso versus Tama Tonga King of the Ring tournament final been?
Yeah, that would have been good.
I'd have really enjoyed that. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
You know, there's royal history in Tama Tonga's family because Haku declared himself a king. I don't think Haku won a King of the Ring tournament, or maybe he did.
I don't think
but he was definitely King Haku for a while back in the early 90s.
Yeah.
And yeah, Jey Uso, Rikishi never won King of the Ring or even really came close to that. But
no.
But you know, it would have worked to have that inter-bloodline thing going on again. And would have actually been something given to Jey Uso that isn't just constant loss after loss.
Or a tag team.
Oh, yeah. Great. When's Jey Uso going to win anything? That's what I want to know. Thoughts on the match then between Gunther and Randy Orton?
Good match. The only thing I'll say is the ending.
Yes. I've got to say, I wasn't a big fan of the match.
No.
Because with Randy Orton in every match at the moment, they're falling down the Randy is old and broken down kind of trope. And I'm like, piss off, it's Randy Orton. Like, can we stop? Randy Orton doesn't age, he's a Viper.
No.
Like, can we stop treating Randy Orton like he's less than just because he's a little bit older than he was the last time he was on a run?
Yeah.
If he was too old and broken down, he wouldn't be doing it anymore. You know, he's said that himself. He's going to keep going until the wheels fall off, and the wheels are still firmly there, you know, with snakeskin rims. So let's stop with this boring kind of trope and just give Randy Orton his due, I think. But you're right, the ending, Randy Orton's shoulder was clearly up. And I can't quite work out whether this was a deliberate thing or it was a cock-up that they tried to retcon after the fact by saying, well, you didn't win, did you, Gunther? So, it's not a real... Either it cheapens his King of the Ring win or it's a massive cock-up. Neither answer's good, really.
Yeah.
The only way that they could really have rectified it was immediately on Raw Monday night, had a rematch or have a rematch announced on Raw for SmackDown this week and just do it again. But whatever. Just another, little dig to the crowd as well. I would like to point out that the French crowd sung the entirety of Randy Orton's entrance theme, whereas the best that the Saudi crowd could manage was a bit of mumbling, and then They Talk to Me repeated 6 times, even when that wasn't the line that the song was on. They
clearly just didn't know the lyrics.
No, I mean, it's a 20-year-old song. Look them up.
Yeah,
practice it in your bedroom.
My girlfriend knows the lyrics, and she hasn't been watching wrestling for very long at all.
Yeah, like, I don't believe language barrier as an excuse because, I know the lyrics to plenty of foreign songs.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big Rammstein fan. I can sit there and churn off Rammstein, and I don't speak German. Like, I can sit there and churn off Japanese songs, and I don't speak Japanese. There's no excuse. Either learn the song or don't try and sing it.
Yeah.
You're not as good as the French. Give it up. Predictably, both went for Gunther, which means that we picked up a point there, and it takes us to 4 apiece.
Four Horsemen.
And the main event for the undisputed WWE Championship.
A very predictable match.
Well, yes. Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
It was all right. I wouldn't say it was amazing.
No.
But it was all right.
It's very clear that the Saudis have got a bit of a hard-on for Logan Paul, and they want him to be in these high-profile matches at all of their shows.
They want him to be everywhere.
And so, it's not like we were putting Mansoor in there in the title picture again and that kind of nonsense. So I can kind of accept this. It was only disappointing, really, because I felt like it would have been much better to have Cody Rhodes against someone and Logan Paul against someone, both defending their titles.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fine. It was a decent match. There were lots of good moments in it.
Yeah.
Cody's jumping off the two ropes, jump, and then doing the arm drag in the corner. I think he's done that before, but it looked particularly good and was sold particularly well by Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I liked Logan Paul jawing with commentary at ringside.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that's going to lead to something at some point, and whether we're going to get Corey Graves back in the ring, even if it's just for one match.
I'll be loving that.
I think that would be good. Yeah. It's been over 20 years. No, it's been almost exactly 20 years since I first saw Corey Graves wrestle.
Wow.
So that would be cool to see him back in there. Oh, always, constantly. Yeah. Just always walking around with my Zimmer frame, thinking of wrestling past. What else have we got? The Cody Cutter on the announce table was nice.
Yeah.
And Cody just saying, no, we don't want to count out. Let's keep it going. I thought that was good. And apparently I have to give kudos to Logan Paul for this. It's been revealed over the week. The camera work on Logan Paul's elbow drop from the turnbuckle to the
drone shots.
The drone going all the way, like the 360 drone around him.
Yeah.
Apparently that was Logan Paul's idea. I don't know if you've seen. He shared his text message chain that he said to Triple H where he wanted it. He actually wanted it for, I think it was for SummerSlam last year or WrestleMania this year. And he was like, let's get one of those action drones and trail around me while I do the thing.
Yeah.
It was a great shot, great visual, and I thought it was really good. And obviously, Logan Paul's really good at that frog splash from distance.
Yeah.
Annoyingly, he's pretty decent at the wrestling thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how many matches he has to put in before we just say, oh yeah, he's pretty good, isn't he? And just accept that
he has to put in enough.
I mean, Cody said it in his promo leading up to the match. Once you're here full time and having matches on the regular, then you can have my respect. But I think that is the only thing missing now.
Yeah.
In terms of giving him that kudos, is you need to be there doing it day in, day out, at least for a period of time before you're accepted as just a wrestler rather than as a YouTuber that's trying his hand at wrestling.
Yeah.
You're right. Predictable. And so I haven't actually put these scores on, so I'll have to add one on to everything. Cody Rhodes for the win, as we predicted, which takes us to 5 apiece. To end,
just 5, guys.
Just 5 points. To end
you already die.
King and Queen of the Ring. Let me just add those points on to the end. Not that it particularly matters, because it's a point that we both got, but it's the principle of it. Let's get that number as high as we possibly can.
Yes.
And take our flowers. Right, a little sip of the easy goat before we move from one dry environment of Saudi Arabia to another dry environment of Las Vegas. You're loving this, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Knowing that you can put this down without suffering the consequences later on.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. I will say AEW Double or Nothing. We did very well prediction-wise. I'm not sure what that says about the show, other than perhaps it was very predictable. But we did pretty well on King and Queen of the Ring as well. So maybe everything's predictable, or maybe we're really good at this. Who knows?
I'm going with we're really good.
Answers on a postcard out there from the viewing public. Pre-show.
Yeah.
Thunder Rosa versus Deonna Purrazzo.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
Very much like the King Queen of the Ring pre-show. It was okay.
Yeah, I don't think it was a match that happened in the same way as the pre-show for WWE was. It was quite physical, this match.
Yeah.
They slapped each other around a fair bit, and there was more than 10 minutes of story that led into it. They've been in this rivalry for a while. It was almost a shame that it was on the pre-show and that they didn't get a bit more time for it. But, heel Deonna Purrazzo is the best Deonna Purrazzo.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan anyway, regardless of her, leanings. But I definitely like heel Purrazzo the most.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that she, cheated to win and grabbed the ropes. It's very consistent. Don't like that, we kind of both predicted the other way.
Yeah.
And I will say it ruined my undefeated record for AEW Double or Nothing, this match. It's the only one I got wrong. And I'm like, damn.
Unlucky.
Yeah, we both went for Thunder Rosa, so we won't be starting Double or Nothing with anything. We'll donut it up for that little bit of time. Also on the pre-show, The Acclaimed and Daddy Ass versus Cage of Agony, which is a name.
It's a name.
It's a name. Gates of Agony and Brian Cage now no longer in the Mogul Embassy.
Mm-hmm.
Did you enjoy this match?
The only thing I can really remember about this is the Acclaimed doing their entrance, and then him going, I always forget their names, going, "Scissor me," and the woman who was doing punches was just there like, no.
Yeah, she was just stood there like deadpan, and then she put like an envelope in his fingers, and like
he just chucked
Anthony
it away.
Bowens just yeeted it as quickly as he could. I'm wondering what it was, whether it was anything, or whether she was just like, "I'm not scissoring you. You can have this." Or, like, it was a strange moment. But
that's the only bit I can really remember vividly.
Yeah,
because it was just weird.
It's a shame because the rap was really good. I felt like it was one of Max Caster's best. Glad that they didn't continue with that. Max Caster has the Yips storyline where he couldn't finish a rap because that was lame. Other than that, I don't think it's really the best choice from an AEW point of view to pretend to not know the names of the Gates of Agony, because that's probably a bit true, and lots of people were like, "Oh, I don't know the names of the Gates of Agony," and like, who are these guys again? Well, maybe if you put them on television a bit more and actually gave them the credit that they're due, then people would know who they are, and you wouldn't have to make these stupid juvenile jokes about not knowing their names, would you?
Yeah.
Like, you're highlighting your own terrible booking at this point. So, let's not do any of that. I don't know their names nonsense. Push the Gates of Agony. That's pretty much my takeaway from this match. We both went for The Acclaimed and Daddy Ass, which will put us on the board for Double or Nothing. And once again, we are the ones.
We are the ones.
Counting them separately, if that wasn't obvious, and we'll add it all on at the end. On to the main show, kicking off with Roderick Strong versus Will Ospreay for the AEW International Championship. I'm sure you have some memorable things from this match as opposed to the last one.
Good match. I like the way it kicked off with Strong still doing his entrance, and Ospreay just comes in with the hidden blade.
He went for it.
I thought that's a good way to start. That is starting strong. This was just a good match.
Yeah, I mean, you expect a good match from Will Ospreay, and you expect a good match from Roderick Strong, for that matter. These are two of the best to do it. Will Ospreay still very much skirting that line between babyface and heel, appealing to the crowd while also still being in the Don Callis family.
Yeah.
It's going to have to come to a head at some point, and I wonder if that could be happening sooner rather than later. I don't know if you've seen or at least read the results from Dynamite last night. But Will Ospreay is now to challenge Swerve Strickland for the AEW World Championship at Forbidden Door for some reason. I think it's a dumb idea myself. But
I thought they would do it at Wembley.
I thought they would do it at, not Forbidden Door, where it's supposed to be New Japan versus AEW, not AEW versus AEW. But hell, what do I know? I just watched the show. Speaking of dumb, the moment in the match when the Undisputed Kingdom were getting involved and Matt Taven just ran right past Bryce Remsburg to bounce on the ropes as if he wouldn't actually notice that happening. It's like, come on, man. Don't insult my intelligence. What is, just don't use the rope or bounce off another rope, or just, this was stupid. It's just insulting.
Yeah.
Can we have a bit of kayfabe once in a while from these referees in AEW? Refereeing is terrible, and this wasn't the only useless bit of refereeing throughout the night. But you know what? I can't think of a moment in which what's her face, Audrey Edwards, was terrible in this show. So that has to be the first.
Wow.
Everyone else was terrible. Bryce Remsburg and the other guy, the really grumpy looking bald guy, I've forgotten his name.
Oh, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, but I don't remember Aubrey Edwards at all in this, so that's good refereeing, because
positive.
You're not supposed to notice the referees.
That's
normally
positive.
She's there chicken gurning in the corner or something and going, oh my god, stop it. Like just making really weird faces and moving a lot. Stop it, just stand still and referee the match. God's sake. Yeah. Should play an AEW bad refereeing drinking game. We'll be smashed.
Yeah, we wouldn't remember the pay-per-view at all.
Well, that
could be a good thing.
Depending on the event, that could be a good thing. Not this one, though. Overall, it was fine. Just with some very glaring issues. The other thing that I don't like, and it's been dragging on for a while now, is this, I'm not doing the Tiger Driver again because I might hurt someone. I'm like, I went on a big rant about it in the last show, so I don't need to do that again. It's dumb then, it's dumb now. Stop it. Just do the move. Stop it. We both went for Will Ospreay for the win, which takes us to 2 apiece. Double rather than nothing. See what I did there? Next, an impromptu segment.
Yeah.
Adam Cole and MJF made their return to AEW.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, indeed. Very much enjoyed this in the moment. And then after it happened, I just sat back and was like, wait a minute, why did Adam Cole come out? What was the point in that? What was the explanation for him coming out?
Purely for MJF to come out.
Yeah. And it's like, couldn't you have found a better way of making that happen?
Yeah.
Like, why didn't Adam Cole come out and try to help the Undisputed Kingdom in the match that had just happened? Try and help Roderick Strong retain. And then when he failed to do so, Adam Cole could have just stayed in the ring ranting about something.
Yeah.
And then MJF could have come out. It's just like, the only reason Adam Cole was out there was so that MJF could come out. And again, it's a bit insulting to the intelligence.
Yeah.
But other than that, really glad to see MJF back and Adam Cole, hopefully close to being healthy. He's walking now at least, so hopefully he'll be back soon and we can put this this feud to bed.
Yep.
Loved MJF's promo, very impassioned. Loved the Triple H style jacket that he was wearing. And I loved the Ric Flair elbow dropping
drop onto the mask.
Onto the mask, like Ric Flair did to the magazine back in the day. Yeah. Decent. Good.
Yeah.
Welcome back, MJF.
Yes.
Next, the Unified World Trios Championship. The Bang Bang Gang, Bullet Club Gold, versus Death Triangle. Anything to say about this match in particular?
No real rules.
None, really. No. Standard fare for a trios match in AEW.
Yeah. Just go for it, really.
Yeah, it makes for a lot of fast action.
Yeah.
But really at the cost of credibility. And there are a fair few botches as well. It wasn't a perfect match. And you probably could have just slowed it down a bit, worked within the rules, and it probably would have been a better match overall. Juice Robinson came back.
Yeah.
Yeah. He should have a beef with MJF, really, because MJF's the person that put him out by smashing a TV over his head back in, I think back in December, maybe even earlier than that. Yeah. Fairly predictable, though. I don't see the Bang Bang Gang losing the titles for quite some time. I'm begging them to make a new belt, though, that's for all three. Well, I say all three. It's not even three. They're carrying around 3 sets of belts, even though they've only got 2 sets of belts, but they're still carrying around the scissor belts because they can. Because they're pretty, aren't they? We'll just carry those as well.
Yeah.
Moving on to 3 apiece for the correct prediction. Nothing much more to say about that.
No.
AEW Women's World Championship. Timeless Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb. I'm going to get straight in here and say,
I go on her.
I'm disappointed once again in the marketing department of AEW.
Okay.
Right. Deeb or nothing. Terrible. What a useless rubbish pun. Deeble or nothing. Money. It's not rocket science. It should be Deeble or nothing, not Deeb or nothing. The show's called Double or Nothing. Deeble or nothing. It's the same word, basically. But Deeb or nothing is a completely different word, and it sounds stupid. And she clearly made that T-shirt herself on a little vinyl cutter or something, because it was just not. You could have made it look like the Double or Nothing logo, but instead it was like, here's my T-shirt that I made in Times New Roman, and it was crap.
Yeah.
Deeble or nothing, I will die on this hill. It was an okay match.
It was a fine match,
Yeah. There was some finisher kickouts. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
The finish was really good.
Yeah.
But I feel like it would have had more emphasis without the 2 finisher kickouts that came just before it. It would have had a lot more impact.
Yeah.
Any thoughts from you?
No, it was fine.
Man, this easy goat's going to your head. You're like, yeah, everything's cool, man.
Everything's cool, man.
Yeah. You need to get a beanie like this, dude. Look at him. It's like, I'm easy, man. He's got your beard.
Man.
He's definitely got your beard. There's your
I
beard.
need glasses.
There's your beard right there.
I know. I need the glasses, don't I?
Yeah, you need to mug El Fantasmo and take those glasses. And you need to get a beanie hat from somewhere. Maybe Jake Hager can hook you up. He likes hats after all. He likes this hat. Predictable as well. Timeless Toni Storm was obviously going to walk away with this one. So we each pick up another point and takes us to the 4 horsemen.
4 horsemen.
Of Double or Nothing. Not much to say about the next one from me. I don't know about you.
No.
It's the only match that we differed on prediction-wise. Trent Beretta versus Orange Cassidy. It was decent enough, but nothing really special.
No.
It could have had more stakes. It could have been some kind of special gimmick match, considering this has been a rivalry that's been building for a couple of months.
Yeah.
And continues to build. Happened further again on Dynamite. I went for Orange Cassidy, who walked away with the win. You went for Trent Beretta, so I will take 5 points. 5 points. 5 points. And you'll stay on 4.
Yeah, all right.
Just 5 points. I've got just 5 points. You've got just 4 points. Taki Michinoku's got t-shirts to sell with 4 on it. Never mind. Chris Jericho versus Hook versus Katsuyori Shibata. A 3-way match for the World Championship. Is that the entirety of your thoughts on this match?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was another triple threat.
Yeah.
This was certainly turn-takey, and I think the F in FTW actually stands for filler.
Filler the world.
Well, just filler match. This was definitely a filler.
So it's the FM Championship.
Filler match championship, yeah. Yeah, basically.
All right.
The bag of dice was fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. I always like when they bring out, the bag that you're expecting to have thumbtacks in it, but it's got something random in it.
Yeah.
But in the Impact Digital Media Championship days, you had the keys.
Yeah.
That was fun. And someone had Legos before. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, dice is a new one, and that was nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Predictable as hell. Both went for Chris Jericho, both picking up another point. So I will leave 5 points behind and move on to 6 points.
Isn't that Motor City?
Can be at Motor City, it could be whatever you want.
I'll be just 5 points. You already
It's kind of hard for me to Motor City. My mic's in the way, and I didn't want to clonk it. So
Motor City.
Hey, we haven't seen them yet.
No.
Well, they were heading to AEW imminently. Maybe that wasn't true. Maybe they're just having a chill, gone on vacation.
Yeah.
I hear that Detroit's lovely this time of year.
Yeah.
Jon Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita for the not for anything, a eliminator match for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Most of this was pretty forgettable, but I liked the collecting the chairs only for the referee to say nope and throw those out. It's like the only thing a referee did good the entire night.
Stomped on the chair,
and then he got stomped. A homage to his boy Seth Rollins. Yeah, and the Death Rider was a particularly nasty Death Rider. It looked good. Yeah. Other than that, good to see the IWGP title on the show, or at least the champion on the show. But we didn't need this match to be on there really.
Yeah,
it's pretty forgettable. Both went for Mox. I mean, this one could have gone either way. It would have been no skin off their teeth to give Takeshita a title shot. But so I'm going to give us kudos for getting this one right. Yeah, takes me to 7, and you will go to the Motor City because your mic isn't in the way like mine is. Right. A run of a few matches where it's like, wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Don't need to talk about them. Many, many thoughts. Barbed wire steel cage match for the AEW TNT Championship. Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black. If Adam Copeland loses, he must bend the knee and join the House of Black. There's obviously one key moment in this that we're going to talk about, and everyone's been talking about. How long has Adam Copeland been wrestling?
A long time.
Yeah, almost as long. Well, I think longer than you've been alive. In fact, close to it. At least about the same amount of time, I would say. Yeah. At what point does a veteran or a rookie, a regular member of the public, a small child, somebody with half a brain cell, think it's a good idea to jump off a cage and rather than execute a move properly, which would be safe for everyone involved, to just land flat-footed in the ring?
It was stupid.
Oh man, I cringed so much when he did it.
Yeah.
And this is coming from someone who, years ago, before I actually broke my leg, I was up on my loft on the ladder, and the ladder gave way on me, so I just landed flat-footed, like fell
Straight
6
down.
feet and just landed
Yeah,
flat-footed. Think I, split my bone then, which actually weakened it for it to be broken a few weeks later.
Yeah.
And I just looked at that and thought, yeah, I'm surprised that his leg didn't just give out underneath him and snap immediately. What a dumb, stupid thing to do, honestly. Hey, Bongo, welcome in. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you.
Oh.
If he'd have just delivered the elbow drop properly, everybody would have been fine.
Would have been fine.
He'd have spread the impact out over a greater area.
Yeah.
He would still be TNT champion now because he wouldn't have broken his ankle.
Yeah.
And everything would have been happy. I don't know if there was a point at which he was like, no, there's something wrong and I can't land this anymore.
Yeah.
Or whether that was always the plan. But I can't explain this in any kind of way that makes sense. Why he decided to just jump what was about 15 feet and just land on his feet.
Yeah.
Surprised we didn't see a Sid Vicious moment where his leg just underneath him and he just flopped around. Yeah. I'm surprised he managed to finish the match.
Yeah.
Really surprised he managed to finish the match. Kudos for that. I mean, I think that was really the only negative about the whole match. Other than that, it was really good.
It was great.
Cool entrance by Copeland,
Yeah.
We obviously weren't allowed to have the proper Brood music because WWE weren't going to license that to AEW. So, Slayer was a good alternative.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we finally got this match between Malachi Black and Adam Copeland because and you might be able to correct me or have a better memory of this, but I'm sure this was something that we were supposed to get in WWE during the pandemic.
I don't think we were.
Wasn't there the whole thing where it's like, if you want to fight me, come and knock on my door kind of deal. And
there was something like that, wasn't there?
And then they just released Malachi Black, and that was the end of that.
Yeah,
I feel like we were working towards it being Edge was the person that was going to come and meet that challenge after that stupid greatest match in history backlash thing that they did with him and Randy Orton.
Yeah,
the greatest wrestling match ever. That was it.
But it wasn't a wrestling match. It was more just go around the arena and fight.
Yeah, in what was definitely not even close to being the greatest wrestling match ever. Yeah. So I'm glad that we actually got these two facing off.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. I liked the part where the House of Black decided to pretend that they were siding with Adam Copeland and then turn on him. That was good. They set that up really well. But I think the thing I was most impressed with in all of this was Gangrel.
Yeah.
Dude looked great. He
looked fantastic.
Those Impaler DDTs that he delivered were fantastic. Probably some of the best DDTs that we've seen in a very long time.
Yeah.
Other than the jumping off the cage, the only other thing that looked a bit crap was the barbed wire crossface finish because he didn't look like he was locking anything in. It just looked like he was leaning on him while there was some barbed wire somewhere near him.
Yeah.
It was because it was supposed to be similar to the part of the chair in the mouth thing.
Yeah.
And they supposed to yank the barbed wire back in his face, but they obviously didn't want to do that. So if they didn't want to do that, then why do that spot at all? Find a different way to finish the match.
Yeah.
Pick a different finish. Maybe they had to call an audible because Adam Copeland couldn't walk anymore, and so they had to finish it on the mat, perhaps. I would accept that as an explanation, but it looked to me like that was always going to be the finish. So I don't really buy that. Yeah. Mixed bag from that match.
Yeah.
Could have been a lot better without silly decisions.
Yes.
I think is the answer.
Just the message to take away from this is don't jump from 15 feet and land flat on your feet.
Don't do it, kids. Don't jump
Don't do
15
it.
feet and land on your feet.
I would say they're trained professionals, but Adam Copeland shows differently.
And we both went for Adam Copeland for the win here. We'll pick
Yep.
up a point each. That takes me to 8, or fortune, and you will go to 7.
Whatever that is.
Yeah. Moving towards the end game now. We're into the triple main event provided by AEW Double or Nothing. Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné for the AEW TBS Championship. I mean, I know how big a Mercedes Moné fan you are, so lead off. What are your thoughts on this one? Goods, bads, uglies?
I wasn't too keen on this match. I've got to be honest. Mercedes just looked clunky and dodgy, and most of the time it looked like Willow was helping her out.
I mean, Willow definitely is, was a big part of this match.
Yeah.
I'm not sure she was quite as bad as you're saying, at least in my opinion. I feel like between them, they put on a good match. Did Willow probably carry it a little bit more? Yeah, I would say so. But I feel like it was a somewhat decent arrival for Mercedes Moné. And the match against Sky Blue on Dynamite was pretty decent as well. So hopefully we're going to start getting back into some decent in-ring action from Mercedes Moné, because she's not bad. I just don't think she's the greatest of all time like she seems to think she is. That's really it. I did like Willow Nightingale just taking no nonsense whatsoever. There was a much more rough and ready, rugged side of Willow Nightingale on display in this match. Just slamming Mercedes' head into the mat, dropping her knee first onto the ring apron. Lots of decent moments like that. What did you think of the ending?
Yeah, fine. I don't like Mercedes' finisher anyway. Her new finisher.
Yeah.
She just doesn't seem to get it right.
I can't remember where I've seen that move before, but somebody else used to do it.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you set up for like a gory special, don't you? You've got them, their back to your back, holding their arms, and then you flip them so that they land face first next to you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a gory special, but a modified version of it.
Yeah.
It's very easy to counter, as far as I can say.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure why she's given up on the bank statement or whatever she'd want to call it now.
Yeah.
What do CEOs have? The board meeting? You could call it the board meeting.
The checkbook.
Yeah. She could call it anything. Just a crossface. Just do the crossface.
Yeah.
And maybe she does need a kind of impactful finisher that isn't a submission, but I'm with you. That ain't it.
Yeah.
That ain't it. I mean, she could do the Rose Plant as a tribute to Bailey. They could both do it. That would be nice. Just call it something different.
Yeah.
The ending was anticlimactic for me and obviously inevitable. I think I would have preferred it if Chris Statlander had turned on Willow Nightingale during the match and was the reason that she lost and cost her the belt. Exactly. There's too much of, after the match, I'm going to twat you and turn on you in AEW. Just do it during the match. The referees are crap anyway. You could probably do it right in front of them and they wouldn't do anything. So might as well take advantage of that if you're going to have terrible officiating. Yeah, overall, just glad this wasn't the main event, as was rumoured at one point. I'm fine with it being the first in a triple main event. But if this had been the main event, I'd have been very disappointed.
Annoyed.
Yeah. Next, the second main event should have been the main event because there should be a world championship in the main event in all pay-per-views, in my opinion. AEW World Championship, Swerve Strickland versus Christian Cage. Mixed feelings about this one as well. It was a decent match. It really was decent. And I've got absolutely nothing against Christian Cage. I really like Christian Cage. He's historically been one of my favorites, but I don't think that he should have been Swerve Strickland's first major title defense.
No.
I mean, I know he defended it on Dynamite a few weeks ago, but the first pay-per-view defense should have been against somebody, really established and is a credible threat to the title. A good notch on that post. Okay, Christian's a former world champion, fine. But he hasn't been a world champion in AEW, and he hasn't been a world champion in a very long time. And that's not really his role in AEW at the moment. He's not out there challenging for world championships.
No.
He's kind of a star maker, head of a stable, and has a very important role to play in AEW. But I don't think this did anything for Swerve. He's kind of back at the same place where he was.
Yeah.
I almost feel like he should have just had a rematch with Samoa Joe or something like that.
Yeah.
Beating Samoa Joe twice in a row does something for your credibility.
Yeah.
More so than beating Christian.
Yeah.
Again, no offense to Christian.
Yeah.
It's not against you so much. It's been about how you've been booked and your current place in the company.
Yes.
Anything you particularly liked, disliked about this match?
No, the only thing I'll say is it's just a complaint we've always say about how long AEW's pay-per-views are. I feel like this is the point in the pay-per-view where people are starting to get a bit tired, and the audience, they're like, okay, we've got another match. Oh god, then we got another match.
Yeah,
it's getting a bit long.
I'll be honest, I didn't notice that so much with this pay-per-view because I watched it in 3 parts. I didn't watch it all in one go, so I've actually no concept of how long the pay-per-view was. What was it? The usual kind of 5.5 hours?
It was 4.5 hours, the main part of it.
Okay, and then an hour and a half pre-show, so 6 hours.
6 hours.
At least the press conference was succinct.
Yeah.
That was done and dusted in about 40 minutes, which is about half the length it normally is, so fair play to them there. Quinn DQ, welcome in. We're at the tail end of AEW Double or Nothing. If you watch the show and have any thoughts, do feel free to share them. I'm pretty much where you are on this World Championship match. I liked that there was a spot where they set up the steps at ringside, and then Swerve Strickland did a dive out of the ring. They set up the camera very well so that you would never know whether or not Swerve actually hit the steps or not. And that is not something that AEW tends to do well generally. So they got that right. And there was another moment, I wish I could remember it. There was another moment where I'm like, you've got the camera in the perfect place there, because that has a high possibility of not going perfectly.
Yeah.
And so as a director of this show, you need to know that this move is coming and be in a position where you can hide any issues that come with it.
Yeah.
And I thought this was a particularly good moment when they did that with the steps outside the ring, because I don't think he did actually headbutt the steps.
No.
I think he probably hit it with his hand to make the noise, but it was believable because of the way the camera was placed. So that. Kicking out the kill switch, don't like that. Especially after taking Nick Wayne's finisher on the floor as well. He basically took a high impact finisher and a finisher and then still kicked out. Don't like that. And I don't like how Christian took the double stomp, and then he was kind of like lying there for a bit, and then he just kind of turned around and there was like, oh no, I need to be in the other position, and turned around again for the house call. He just basically spun around in the ring a few times, and it was where does he kick me? Here, I guess. Let's try this, and it was right, but he was just kind of like sat there going, is it that way? No, is it this? Okay, right, now kick me in the face, and he did.
Yeah.
But overall, that was not good.
No.
I don't think this did anything for anybody.
No.
For Christian's patriarchy and the stories that he's got going, and for Swerve Strickland as AEW World Champion, don't think it did anything for anyone, which is a shame. And so I kind of forgive it not being the main event for that reason, but I would have rather it was the main event and was a decent match against somebody who was a credible threat to Swerve Strickland.
Yeah. Yeah.
We haven't seen a world championship like change hands on the first defense in years.
A long time.
Probably all the way back to the late 90s.
Yeah.
So I would have liked to see that.
Yeah.
As a possibility. The main event. The Elite, Kazuchika Okada, Jack Perry, and the Young Bucks versus Team AEW, Bryan Danielson, Darby Allin, and FTR. Anarchy in the arena.
Yeah.
Immediate thoughts.
Goddamn music.
Oh God, turn the goddamn music off. I hate that so much. And I mean, the Young Bucks made the joke. I called them the Young Jokes then. That was a Freudian slip. The Young Bucks made the joke, turn that off. It's costing us like $200,000 to play that. And I'm like, but genuinely, it was playing music over this match is irritating, and you pay $200,000 to just be irritating. The crowd loved it, and the crowd love it, I'm sure. It's different when you're in the arena, but at home watching it, it's like, oh, I can't watch this match. Turn the music off. Can't focus on this match. Can you turn the oh, and you've played a different song. Oh, can you turn the music off? Please turn the music off. Turn the music off. Like, and it went on for so long. And if it wasn't the music, Taz was going like something Jones every 3.5 seconds. It was like, take down Jones, like chair shot Jones. I'm like, shut up, Taz. Like, between you and the music, I just want to shoot myself in the head. This is awful. So we were a long way into the match before I could even start to enjoy it. And from that point, when they actually turned the music off, I did enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
I felt like they set up a lot of really good spots. It was random as hell, Jack Perry being dunked into an ice bath. I'm like, why is there an ice bath out there next to a random table? Like, why is that a thing? And obviously,
why not?
It was so that he would look like, oh, he's just still wet from the ice bath when they douse him in that like anti-fire gel.
Yeah.
Like, so he doesn't actually get burned. Okay, fine. Yeah. I wish you'd have done that dunk in a place that made sense, like a trainer's office or a locker room. But, you know, we can't have it all, I guess. The crashing the truck spot was pretty damn cool. It would have been better if they could have explained where Darby Allin was during all of that point, but
they were just kind of like, oh, where's Darby? Oh,
is he
I'm
in the pile?
he was in
Did he
there.
dive? Well, okay, fine. I mean, there was a cameraman there the whole time. It's probably something that could have been communicated. So again, not ideal, but I'll allow it. I can forgive that because it was cool in general. Fighting on the poker chips was a nice throwback to the first Double or Nothing. That was cool. And let's be honest, the fire spot was freaking awesome.
Yes, it was.
It was really well done. I was just wondering what crazy nonsense they were going to get up to when the Young Bucks were crouched down by the entrance tunnel, and they were talking about something. You couldn't quite work out what it was doing, but they were clearly communicating about this spot and what things were going to happen. And then all of a sudden, Darby's there with his flamethrower. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, what's the point in this? Like, okay, he's scary. He's got a flamethrower, but it's like,
Oh, he's actually set someone on fire.
He's actually set him on fire. I'm like, how is Jack Perry still wet after all this time? Oh, it's not water.
That's why.
That is not water. That is stuff to stop him getting his skin burned. Lovely stuff. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen the show World's Toughest Test. It's about they put celebrities through special forces training. Like legitimate, like hardcore.
So it's like SAS Who Dares Wins.
A bit like that, yeah.
The celebrity version.
celebrity version. And you'd expect, because it's celebrities, that they'd treat them lightly and not do it. No, they just go whole hog and they don't care. And there was one of the tests in that where they douse them in that kind of gel stuff and then set them on fire, and they've got to run like 100 meters and put themselves out in sand. And it just reminded me of that. I'm like, that kind of stuff's hardcore, because it can go wrong. It can absolutely go wrong, and you can be burned. So kudos to them for pulling it all off and keeping everyone safe and it looking fantastic. Credit where it is due. This was a good spot. I really enjoyed it. The exploding chair.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's going back to when the Young Bucks did that super kick with the exploding shoes.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool, but it's a bit random. And
it's a bit random, but
probably would have had more impact if it made sense and we knew why the chair was going to explode or what that was for. It was weird. And I enjoyed the hog tie spot as well, where they tied him up and hung Darby Allin upside down. Yeah. And the fact they left him there for ages, and in the end, the crowd were like, "Please help Darby." No, he's fine. He's tipping his head up. He's not hanging there and all the blood's going to his head. He's leaning forward and like the blood's not rushing to his brain. He's fine. Leave him there. This isn't his first hog tying, I don't think. He probably does this for fun. Like, he loves David Blaine and all that stuff, and he was hanging upside down forever as well, wasn't he? So it's fine. Like, he's fine. If he needed help, he'd ask for help and they'd bring him down. Easy. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Chill out, crowd. It's not that bad.
Chill, man.
Chill. Relax. Any other thoughts about this?
No, it was anarchy.
This have been the main event?
No.
I feel like this would have been a great open.
Yeah.
As much as the Ospreay strong match was a great open, I think this would really set the tone for crazy nonsense throughout the match.
This would get the crowd pumped.
Absolutely hyped. Yeah. But then, what do you put as the main event?
The Swerve.
Swerve against someone else for the World Championship.
Yeah, Swerve against someone else for the World Championship as main event. Job done. Happy days. Book it.
Yeah. Probably should have been Jon Moxley, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame that he's the IWGP champion because, that he couldn't take a loss, really.
No.
But, for it to be 5 years from the first one where Moxley debuted, that would have been a good notch in Strickland's belt as well to beat Moxley, one of the only multi-time AEW champions. So yeah, not bad overall, but could have been better. Yeah. Of the two, what was the better show, King and Queen of the Ring or Double or Nothing?
I'd say Double or Nothing.
I'd agree. Yeah. It just had more going for it, and the women could wear what they want. Yeah. Regardless of whether that was skimpy or not, the fact that they had freedom of choice is what we like here on the Main Event podcast. We like freedom of choice. We also like, as it turns out, Easy Goat.
Easy, bruv.
I would say that this has gone down as a win. Would you agree?
This is a big win for me.
Yeah, well, you've finished yours by the sounds of that can, so that's gone. Yep. I've been ranting about AEW too much to finish mine, so so there you go. Right, scores on the doors. It's the time when you get your belt out and lord it over me. Need to update this on screen because I had missed a point a little earlier in the night, so just add 1 to this, and I'll maybe do it on the fly.
Yeah.
After a final score of 11-10 in AEW Double or Nothing, and our 5 apiece in King and Queen of the Ring, the scores are 61 to me, 62. And Dan, you were on 56/57. Let's fix that. 57. Let's get mine. 60.
Keep it as that.
2. There you go. 623. There you go. That'll do nicely. And yes.
Well, earlier you gave me like 5 million.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, we won't do that again. And earlier I also erroneously thought there was a month left. There are 2 months left.
Yeah.
So while I am while I'm handedly winning right now, it can turn on a dime, and there have been a few events where you've picked up a few points. These were not one of them, but
No.
there's still lots of wrestling to go. I think the next thing that we need to predict is the tournament finals of the King of the Super Juniors.
Yeah.
Then we got Dominion. I think that might be the next thing that we're talking about, actually, is New Japan Dominion and the end of the Super Juniors. I don't think there's much else between now and then. And then we'll be working through Clash at the Castle and Forbidden Door for the rest of June. So, yeah, not a terribly busy month of June, but certainly some solid wrestling action
going on
for us to talk about. Yeah. Looking forward to it. Okay. In that mode, I will begin to play us out. Stay tuned to social media for when we will be here next. I'm not quite sure how the calendar works, but I feel like we'll be back in 2 weeks. I don't think we're here next week.
Possibly.
Yeah, unless there's a load of news to talk about and we want to do an extra one, but
probably not.
We'll see. Yeah. Other than TNA invading NXT, unless if more of that happens, might be worth talking about. But
we'll see.
Stay tuned to social media for all of our updates at Main Event TMEP everywhere. I'm at JezX Everything, and you are at Danny T259. You're just on Twitter, are you?
Twitter, X, whatever they want to call it nowadays.
It's called. Degeneration X.
X.
Yeah, there you go. We'll see you next time. Thanks very much for watching. I've been Jez.
I've been Dan.
This has been the Main Event Podcast. This has been Easy Go.
Easy, mate.
Tasty.
Bye.